Tableau, Spark. And when it comes to AI, it's predominantly Python and its libraries like, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, TensorFlow, LangChain, Langsmith, PyTorch. So these days, compared to TensorFlow, it's predominantly PyTorch. So we are working on PyTorch too, along with LangChain framework. So right now, more demand is on generative AI, right? That's the reason this course is specifically focused on generative AI. I'll explain what is generative AI in detail. Before that, let me explain you like what all the topics that we're going to cover in this course. It's going to be around 2 to 2.5 month course. All right, Monday to Sunday, without any week off. Sometimes you may need an off to practice. In that case, we will inform you. Right. So if you have some programming knowledge, it's going to be an add-on to this course. But when it comes to Python, you don't really need to know Python because we'll start with Python. Let me show you like how the scripts are going to be so that you'll have some sense like how the course content will be delivered. Um, yeah. Usually the files will be shared in Google Classroom. It's going to be like this. And you can download it from here. And I will explain what all the tools that you need to download and install it. On day one, I will explain how to install Anaconda and how to open Python files. So don't worry if you have no idea how to access the interface. Yes, 6 Python files. Um, so these are Jupyter notebooks, and let me open it in terminal. 1 second. Sure, sir. I'll explain like what all the content, what we are going to deliver and what will be the career opportunities. Once I show you like how the interface is going to be, how what kind of files, how we share the content. Let me show you a simple example. This is Jupyter notebook. So every thing that we explain will have a kind of file like this. Even though I take a new file and show you how things work, but this sort of files will be shared to you. So you not to take any notes for it. So before we get into generative AI, let me explain like what kind of opportunities you will have. So basically, the generative AI will fall under NLP, kind of NLP, because predominantly generative AI means LLM, large language models. Hope you can see my screen. Font size is good enough. NLP is basically natural language processing. So basically, it's like AI, artificial intelligence, will have different set of domains. One is NLP, which is predominantly on text based. If you're able to handle a text data, then that will fall under NLP, natural language processing. There is another domain called CV, which is nothing but computer vision, which handles images or videos, right? And there is another domain called time series. Time series predominantly time-based data. Time-based data in the sense stock data, or any financial related data will fall under time series. This course is more focused on generative AI. Generative AI is like, NLP, but, the output or the input could be an image or even a video. I hope you got this point. Basically, NLP, natural language processing, handles text data. So when we provide an input in the form of a text, or if you provide an input in the form of an image which has some text in it, that is, the model is going to take the input and it's going to show the output. Either it could be in image or video, or it could be even a text. Predominantly, it is text to text, right? I hope you might have heard this LLM, which is nothing but large language model. So when the career opportunity is more for generative AI, so when they say generative AI or simply AI, you should be in a position that whether the input could be a text or output the expected output is going to be a text, but you can even handle images, videos, but it is not completely fall under CV. Computer vision is more robust compared to generative AI when it comes to images and videos. Okay, I hope you got this point. It's predominantly text-based, but the input or output could be image or a video which has text or visualization, or it could be a video. When they say AI, it is not, it's not, it does not, this particular course does not include NLP, CV, and time series. You have to have specialization in it. So initially you start with Python, which is the prerequisite programming language, and then you will learn some bunch of, libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn. Basically, NumPy is for numerical analysis, Pandas is for data analysis. Again, Pandas based on NumPy and other libraries. Matplotlib and Seaborn for visualization. So you can either use Power BI or Tableau, which are alternate tool-based alternatives, whereas Matplotlib and Seaborn are more library-based. And Scikit-learn is for machine learning. I will explain what is machine learning. And TensorFlow or PyTorch is for deep learning. Let me explain the key difference between machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning, ML we call it as, or even deep learning will fall under AI, artificial intelligence. The difference between AI, ML, and DL is basically like this. Let's take Tesla car, right? The instructions will be given by either machine learning or deep learning. Machine learning is a traditional approach, which is not much accurate, as accurate as deep learning model. Deep learning is a modern approach, which is more robust, and it requires a lot of resources, GPUs, CPUs, a lot of resources to train, and even for inference. Inference in sense predicting or on trying to know the unknown data. Artificial intelligence is an ecosystem. Let's take the same case, the same example that we have taken Tesla car. So instructions will be given by machine learning or deep learning model. So basically it takes the input, right? Let's take Tesla car. It takes the input, right? Input could be from camera or some other sensors. So it takes the input and it feeds the model. It could be a machine learning model or deep learning model. Predominantly, it's deep learning. And so most of the organizations rely on deep learning, which is the modern approach, more accurate. Of course, no model is 100% accurate. Even Tesla models has some flaws. Even you can see a video also, a Tesla car hitting a truck, and just because the model didn't work properly, right? So no model right now is 100% accurate. It's just a comparative in nature. So ChatGPT is compared to Google Bard is much better. So that is how things works right now. So and model, so it feeds the model, and model will tell you. One second. Okay, the model will tell you how to proceed, whether it could be left, right, left, right, or stop, or move on straight. So it's going to give the instruction based on the input. But the whole ecosystem, the whole car need to respond according to that, right? So just by giving instruction, the car is not going to move. Let's take that it has to move left. It has given the instruction based on the input that it has to move left, right? Just by these instructions, the car is not going to move left. So they need to, whoever makes these Tesla cars, they need to make the steering work in a way that it has to move left based on the instruction. So this whole system we call it as AI. In this case, it is car. but it could be even a robo. So the brain, if you take a robo humanoid, right, very much look like a human, the brain is machine learning or deep learning. Whereas the whole ecosystem, the mechanics inside in it, and based on that things need to move, whether it could, it has to walk or it has to jump, whatever the thing, right? So that the whole thing we'll call it as AI. I hope that you got the difference between AI, machine learning, and deep learning. Those who haven't got the difference between ML and DL, it is more traditional approach, whereas deep learning is modern approach. Okay, anyone has any questions in this part? So ML, DL, AI, generative AI, and what this course is all about, and where do you fit in the industry? So if someone asks you to, build a chatbot, or if the requirement is building chatbots or question and answering, let's take, so these are all the topics that we are going to cover. So let me, conversational AI, conversation is kind of chatbot, image to text or text to image, language modeling, question answering, a simple question and an answering, and not as robust as conversational AI, I mean, to say chatbot, and sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis in the sense, let's take that someone trying to, introduce a product to a market. They want to find out what will the sentiment is it positive or negative by taking some Twitter data or some other source from social media that will fall under sentiment analysis. Could be, let's take that you made a movie and you want to know the sentiment of it, right? Whether it's positive or negative based on the Twitter data. So you can rely on the sentiment analysis, thing, models. And in speech processing, so it could be text to audio, audio to text kind of. Summarization, this is, let's take that you have given a book, a PDF book, which has some 300 pages in it, and you want to summarize based on each chapter, or let's take the whole book. Then you're going to focus on summarization. This is going to be very handy. Let's take that, a manager come to you and gave all the content, and he wants you to prepare a PPT presentation. Then, you feed this data to summarization model, and then you summarize based on, let's take that you summarized on bullet points, some bullet points on chapter wise, and then you can add to the PowerPoint. That is how it works. Summation is going to be very handy, especially to business users, business managers. Test classification is like, let's take that you have given the data and you want to classify into, let's take cat, dog kind of, which is based on text. That will come under text classification. And of course, if you add computer vision to it, even you can provide images or videos to it. Generative UI, in fact, it includes some sort of computer vision too. So text generation in the sense, let's take that you want to write an essay or you want to write let's take some 200 or 300 pages, 200 or 300 word, paragraph or, essay based on some topic. Let's take that you want to, give a speech on Independence Day. And you can simply write text like prepare a 200 to 300 word essay on Independence Day so that I can deliver a speech. So you can rely on this text generation models. And text to text in the sense, let's take that, you provide some text and it's going to generate some text. Basically, text to text in the sense, it could be text generation or it could be text summarization also. So text to text is basically more of, finding out synonyms or, text summarization or text classification. We can't say text classification as such, but text summarization or text generation will fall under text to text. Even finding synonyms will fall under text to text. And sometimes, Google, language translation from one language to another language will fall under text to text. Token classification is very much similar to, text classification, but it is more granular. And the translation again, like we can translate from one language to another language. Zero shot learning is like, it is going to learn with one shot. It does not require extensive training. So these are all the categories that we are going to cover during this course. I hope you got some idea like what are all the things that we are going to cover in this course. Right? Any questions? I'm from Java background, don't know Python. Please guide roadmap for this course. Sure. So Python is going to be part of this course. If you have some programming knowledge, it's going to be an add-on. You don't require to know Python to start this course, to get into this course. So we're going to start with Python. We'll start with operators, and then small libraries that Python has, built-in libraries, and then lists, tuples, dictionaries, list comprehensions, various other things. Okay. Someone raised a question. So they are from Java background and they don't know Python. So they are expecting a roadmap for this course. And we will share the content also to you. So this is going to be the roadmap. We will start with Python and then NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, Seaborn or Python libraries. And we're going to cover mathematics and statistics, which is required for AI. And you don't require to know maths and statistics also. And we will share templates like, let me show you a template. So it's going to be like this. So basically, beginners, they will face a lot of difficulty, to start a project, especially a robust project like this. Even though they do on their own, the accuracy is not going to be that good. So we will create a template like this so that they can easily execute the projects. These sessions are not free. In this no, 2 to 3 sessions are going to be free. And we will start the course from next Monday, not coming Monday, next Monday. And this is going to be a paid course. And you need to in contact with Ashok IT. The sessions are not completely free. 2 to 3 sessions are free. Yeah, we will provide notes. In fact, I showed you the thing. This is going to be like this. This is going to be a Jupyter notebook. Sometimes it's going to be, the typical notes. Let me show you that one too. 1 second. So it's going to be typical notes. Let's take statistics. All right. Let me download this. Uh, Sometimes it's going to be a normal text file. Sometimes it's going to be Jupyter Notebook. Sometimes it's going to be PDF. I will show you a deep learning PDF so that you will have some idea. Job opportunities on course, like in which domain we are going to work. So we are going to work on generative AI, which is predominantly based on text. So if they expect you to build chatbots or anything that you need to work on text, or that generative AI includes some sort of CV also. You'll get a good idea once we start NLP and CV, right? AI. So basically, you are going to fit in AI, and there are subdomains in AI like NLP, CV, and time series. You're going to fit into NLP and CV. NLP in the sense natural language processing, which is based on text data, and CV, which is computer vision. So you're going to fit into that. I hope I answered your question. Yes, you can. Someone asking a question, a Java developer, 10 years backend experience. And can I switch to AI? Yes, you can switch to AI. And in fact, most of, even there are models that are specific to code. So that is going to generate the code, but it's not completely accurate, but some sort of human assistance required. So you're going to fit into that. That is also part of this course. We are going to discuss extensively on a Llama code-based models. Duration of the course is going to be 2 to 3 months, and every day, per day it's going to be 1 to 1.5 hour session, and it starts at 7:30 a.m. from next Monday onwards. Why Gen AI is hot topic nowadays? Because, okay, let me explain this question. I'm going to take another 5 to 10 minutes. This question is very important. Why Gen AI is hot topic today, right? Let me take. So if you have further questions, let me know. Why this is a hot topic and why there is a lot of demand on generative AI. Let me open this LLM OS, and there is another one. Model comparison. Yeah, the hardware. I hope everyone knows, like, I think most of you are from software industry or knows some basics related to software, right? So basically, this is the typical way that system works. Hardware obviously understand only zeros and ones, something we know humanly impossible for a normal person, right? So what do we do is, like, obviously they build some kind of software, some kind of operating system where we call it as kernel. Shell is basically a kind of character user interface that we can interact to kernel. So we give commands. Let's take PowerShell, right? So I have given the command ls, okay? So it has listed all the files that are part of this current directory, C users Aruna. So this is basically kind of shell. An application is going to simplify more. So you have seen web pages, right? Google, or it could be Bing, or it could be any other application, web-based application, or even desktop applications, all command applications. Basically, it's going to simplify the way we interact with hardware. Now things got changed. So things are like, because we can't give input to hardware, I know in zeros and ones, we came up with kernel and shell. Now things are moving like, rather than applications, we can give a natural language input. I mean to say, let's say that I want a Python code that demonstrate list comprehension. I can simply write a normal text. Earlier, that was not the case. You have to know Python, you have to know the syntax. Whereas, if you open ChatGPT now, let's take OpenAI, right? Let's take this is the one, and please give me an example. That demonstrates Python list comprehension with an X. Okay, already I have written as an example. So now I given a normal text, just like the way you and I speak, right? So it has given an example clearly. Of course, if I need more examples, more detailed examples, I can write a more customized message so that I can get the output that I require. I hope you got the point. Right? Now things are moving towards LLM OS, wherein you can give instruction in a normal language. Of course, it's not completely available right now because the models are very heavy, and it's if you look at the parameters, going to be trillions, and our normal machines can't handle it. So we are relying on some kind of external server like ChatGPT's, Google Gemini, and others, wherein they will have their own server wherein it can handle those models and give us the output. But we haven't reached that point, but things are moving towards that. And the industry requires assistance in handling this, this transition. That is where the whole thing comes in. So someone raised this question, so why this is a hot topic? Things are moving towards natural language stuff rather than giving a more complex, more code based thing. So in another 10 years, so there is no such thing as code wherein you can give a normal instruction, but during this transition they need someone who has domain knowledge, someone who has generative AI knowledge, and someone who has business knowledge so that you can deliver what they require. Did I answer your question? Why generative AI is a hot topic in today's industry? I'm from yes, all right, thank you. I'm from cloud infra system and network administration with limited coding knowledge. Will it be a good career changes if I have to relearn or generative AI? So okay, if you have programming knowledge, that would be good enough, but not to be an expert in it. The way you need to work on is like whenever a session been completed, practice it 3 to 4 times a day. That is going to be good enough. When it comes to, let's take that sometimes you require some customization wherein it was not covered in the codes. Definitely, any task is being given to you, 70 to 80% is going to be repetitive, and 20 to 30% is going to be something new, at least to that project. So in that sense, like you need to do your own research. If you, once you get into generative UI and if you know 70 to 80% of repetitive stuff, then it's not difficult to handle the remaining new stuff that is going to come. So anyone, whether you are a fresher or you are an experienced guy, in a different tech stack, so you can get into generative AI. And it is going to be mandatory in another 5 to 10 years. So everyone need to know generative AI because everyone handles through generative AI. And no one can handle with the tools that we have because they are not comprehensive enough. They're not 100% accurate enough. So you need to have customization. Let's take that, I'll give a simple example. Let's take that ChatGPT we have. So can it handle the, let's take a business team has some confidential data as a business data. ChatGPT does not have access to it, right? Obviously, we need to, customize, or what we call it as fine tuning the model. So we need to be in a position to fine tune the model based on the customized data that business provides. So that in that case, definitely a generative AI expert, a specialist required. Are we able to create models on our own without any third-party APIs? See, basically, without third-party APIs, it's not possible. Some way or the other, you need to rely on it. There are two kinds of APIs. One is open source. Let me show you this one, Hugging Face. Hugging Face provides open source models, whereas ChatGPT, OpenAI, and kind of thing, they don't provide it open source. They are not going to provide the model. So they are going to provide through API. And if it is 1.5 trillion, or even let's take that it is some 3.5 billion or 70 billion model, you can't handle in a system. You have to rely on someone else, APIs. So don't expect everything that you create on your own, and no one expects you to do that. And even business teams, once you hit the floor, you're not to create the model from scratch, because the models are so huge that it requires billions of dollars. Okay, so it is going to be a combination of your own model, third-party APIs, fine-tuning based on the customized data. I hope I answered your question. There are a lot of questions. Yeah. All right. So I think I answered this question. I am from Cloud Infra. Just join. So please share link for recording or summarize session. After the session, Ashok IT Institute will provide you the recorded session. So don't worry. Is this like add on to Java developer or like different domain altogether? I can say Java is a language wherein we can use to, we can use in generative AI. But thing is that, there are two things. We predominantly use Python to build or fine tune models or utilize the models. We don't use Java as much, but we have a separate section on coding part, wherein we can use generative AI to generate Java code or any other code, in fact. There are dedicated Python models to generate code, whereas when it comes to Java, C, C++, there is one generalized model. I hope I answered your question. So, Naren, did I answer your question? Is this like to add on Java developer or like different domain? I can say it's kind of a combination of it. If you're a Java developer, you can use generative AI to be a more effective developer. You can even use Java for generative AI, but we predominantly use Python to generate models. But generative AI is not limited to one particular language. It has it supports a lot of programming languages. Along with that, the normal generative text visualizations. It can even generate videos or images, kind of. What exactly is generative AI? I hope I answered your question. It's more like a normal human, the way we are speaking. So you asked me a question, what exactly is generative AI? Right? So let me copy this, and I don't know whether this is going to generate in Chat GPT because it's 2021, right? Okay, generative, it is giving an output, isn't it? So you asked me a question, instead of me giving an answer, and it is this automated model is giving an answer. Okay, and if we have patience later model, it requires another 5 to 10 minutes. So are you comfortable in knowing the answer, knowing what is a model? I mean, can you dedicate another 5 to 10 minutes to understand what is a model? All right. So let me explain what is a model. I will explain with a very simple example. It not be as simple as it's been explained here. Just assuming like that you are all beginners. Okay. Some of you may have some knowledge in ML and thing. Let's take that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We can easily guess the next number, isn't it? 12. We take the position, right? This first position, the second position, third position, fourth position, fifth position, sixth position. And I'm expecting a 100th position value. Basically, based on this data, so there is some pattern to it, isn't it? It is like 2 multiplied by position. If I give 100th position, let's take 100th position, it's going to be 200. So I can guess or I can predict the unknown value here. So this is a simple set of data. It need not be as simple as this. It could be, as complex as, let me show you this. I think, I don't know whether I have the data or not. Let's check. I hope I have. So this, you can see that it's not just one column. Here we have only one column of data. Here we have a lot of data, isn't it? So let's look at this. So if the data is, to this extent, obviously it is not humanly possible to use statistics and find out what is the pattern, isn't it? So here the pattern is 2 multiplied position, 2p, simply 2p. The model could be, here we have only one parameter. Whereas in real time, it could have millions, billions, or even trillions of models. I think I have a comparison. Let me 1 second. Generative AI, not this one. Yeah, not even this one. Okay. Model comparison LLM. 1 second. Or comparison definition. Let me check this. Not this one. I don't know how did I miss it. I think I have this. Yeah, model comparison. If you look at this, there are a lot of models here, right? LLM models. These are all GPT-4, GPT-3.4 Turbo, GPT-3, which is an old one. GPT-4 is a new one, and GPT-4o, which can handle images and videos also. But this would cost around $20. So while providing demo, we will show you we will subscribe to that ChatGPT and then show you this ChatGPT-4. If you want to try it on your own, you have to spend $20. And it has 1.76 trillion parameters, 175 billion parameters. You can see the lot of, again, depends on the resource availability. You need to use one of these options. We are going to discuss GPT models and BERT, Palm models, Gemini models, Llama models, and Mistral models in this course. I'm getting a lot of questions. I'll go one by one. So did this course going to teach us how to develop in AI? Yes. It is going to more focus on generative AI, predominantly NLP. Is model means set of data? No. And model means pattern, finding out pattern, which is being presented in the form of function. Just like a function will have parameters, a model will have parameters. So model is nothing but a function-based, a function which has a parameter-based pattern finding methodology, so that we can predict around the unknown data. Is it 0 to hero course? You'll gain at least 2 years of real-time experience. Becoming a hero or becoming an expert is not an easy thing. At least you will gain 2 years of experience, real-time experience through this course, because we will provide through templates, right? So that is going to be used even in production. That is how we can promise that it's going to gain you, 2 years of experience. I'm a Linux admin, Hadoop admin background, which is good. We hear a lot of job loss and scary things regarding AI eating IT jobs, people getting laid off, and how long we are safe. And I know we need continuous tech upgrades. Please comments. Okay, sure. This is one scary thing that, even let's take that I'm an instructor, right? So in future, you may not require an instructor like me. So it's going to be replaced by AI. It is true that AI is going to replace everyone, but it has its own limitations right now. And right now, another 5 to 10 years, you not to worry. You need to keep on upgrading yourself when it comes to tech stack. The reason for that is there are resource limitations, there are context-based limitations, and there are a lot of business users don't know how to handle generative AI because it's still technical stuff. So that in that sense, another 5 to 10 years, fine, you're absolutely fine. There are a lot of limitations when it comes to hardware resource and technical limitations. And after 10 years, we don't know how things are going to be. So I'll explain a real-time story. A traveler has written a book 4,500 years ago. In his experience, he was quite saddened by looking at the paddy fields. Paddy fields in the sense agriculture, rice crop. The reason why he was sad is like, he started memorizing his childhood stuff. I mean to say, in his childhood, he mentioned in his own words that he hasn't seen a crop like this, a paddy field like this, the one that he has seen at that point of time. He said that whenever he feels hungry, he used to pluck fruits from trees. So the trees were abundant, the food was abundant. He used to do whatever they want. Like he used to, he likes to travel and he traveled. But things got more commercial from 4,500 a year onwards, right? So when things are completely being automated, obviously you will have options. But during this transition, another 10, 20 years is going to be very difficult for us. That is for sure. And we need to adapt to it. And there is no other alternative for us. Another 10 to 20 years is going to be very, very hard, especially for freshers, those who are completely new to software and don't have much exposure to the real-time stuff. Do we need to learn Python completely before learning this? No. And you need to have some programming knowledge that will be an add-on. Even if you don't have, you need to put a lot of effort. When it comes to Python, we are going to start with Python. We're going to start with the operators. Is GenAI is going to replace jobs? Yes, it's going to replace job, right? Not definitely and not immediately, but it's going to take time. I'm from ETL testing background. Do you suggest me to whether this course suitable for me to switch? So everyone switching to generative AI, ETL, you can learn Power BI. You can focus on DAX in parallel to generative AI. So that is going to, I don't know which tool you use for ETL and testing. But so what do you mean by ETL testing? Basically I'm working, I'm in data field. So to me, ETL is extra transform load, right? Data transformations using DAX and all. Data modeling. Okay, data warehousing, fine. So if it is data warehousing, learn Power BI, DAX, MDX data modeling along with generative AI. And generative AI is definitely going to replace all of the jobs in future. I hope I answered your question. What are we covering today topics, sir? So I think, okay, these are all the topics that we're going to cover. Like I'm going to explain the contents that we're going to be part of this course. We're going to start with Python and various other libraries that are required. So we not to write code from, using Python from scratch. And we're going to give the basics of time series, but this course is not predominantly on time series. A dedicated course is required to handle stock data or financial data. And we're going, when it comes to cloud, we are going to handle Azure. So we are going to discuss DevOps also. It's not just generating the model. We need to know how to deploy it. We need to know how to build a complete CI/CD cycle, continuous integrated and continuous development, deployment. And apart from it, we are going to see Azure SQL, AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service to manage cluster. To have a cluster and to manage it. Let me show you. So I'm going to give the commands for containerization, how to manage Kubernetes and all. So don't worry about deployment and Azure. So these are all Docker commands. So when you're about to work in Microsoft service environment, these are going to be very handy. It's not just deployment. I'm going to explain how to manage your AKS cluster too. So scale up or down, whatever. And it is going to be, and once we go through this and all these topics like machine learning, deep learning, Python basics, Python libraries, PyTorch, TensorFlow, we're going to get into generative AI and then deployment. I'm going to give you a project each on Excel, Power BI, and Tableau. But this course is not data science. This course is on generative AI. I hope I answered your questions. So what all the tools? Course duration, as I said before, is going to be 2 to 3 months, an hour and a half each on each day. 7:30 starts from next Monday, not coming Monday, this Monday. Next Monday, 7:30 a.m. IST. How to develop in AI? Yes. I'm from ETL background. What are the covering topics today? I answer your questions. I'm a mobile developer. Is this course help me in mobile technology? Mobile technology, you need to have slight tweaks to the model. Mobile technology basically expects a model which are lightweight. So I will explain how to handle the edge cases. We call it as edge devices. Edge device does not handle, heavy models unless you rely on APIs, external APIs. So we're going to see both APIs and how to make the model available to edge devices. I hope I answered your question. So do you have any further questions on this? Govinda Rao, how the opportunities and competition for generative? Right now, everything is shifted towards generative AI, more general intelligence rather than generative AI. So in future, it's not even going to be generative AI. It's going to be general intelligence. So there are a lot of opportunities, tons of opportunities on generative AI. And even if you don't learn it now, you have to learn another 5-10 years. It doesn't matter which stack you are from, whether you're a beginner or an experienced guy. End of this training, are we able to create models on our own? Yes, I answered your question. So I answer this question too. What is generative? I answer this question too. I'm Java 10 years background experience. Can I switch to generative? Yeah, yes. And I think I answered this question too. So another guy asked about Java developer. So you can, but you can use generative AI in your Java development also. So there are dedicated models for it. Even though there are dedicated models that Llama introduce for Python. For the remaining languages like Java, C, C++, they release a generalized model. So but you can fine tune it. I will explain how to fine tune it with your own code. How long this today's session is 1 hour. So okay, someone, what it affects container security. So we will, okay, will it affects container security? We need to handle container security. So Kubernetes pods are more secure than Docker containers. So as we are going to discuss AKS rather than Docker containers, so security part is prominently been taken care. And moreover, no one uses on-premise clusters, AKS cluster, Kubernetes clusters. So everyone rely on cloud in some way or the other. It could be AKS or EKS, whatever. So we're going to discuss a deployment complete end-to-end project in Azure, which is going to have AKS and ACR. And container, when it comes to the image itself, we're going to deploy it in, we're going to have a copy in ACR, not in some Docker stuff, Docker Hub. Are we going to use Azure OpenAI and or AWS part? We are going to use Azure OpenAI. So it's not OpenAI, I mean to say. We're going to see Azure APIs also. Not predominantly AWS platform, is going to predominantly Azure APIs and Azure deployments. And the AWS, if required, will have one project, but it's predominantly Azure. During the course, so duration of the course, 2 to 3 months. Yeah. What's the course fee? So Ashok IT will inform you. The institute will inform you what will be the course fee. So you need to be in communication with them. whoever sends you the meeting invite, so you can communicate back to them and ask this question. Please repeat what is Gen AI again. I missed. Sorry, this is very important concept. Okay, so Gen AI basically, a combination of NLP. I don't know where did I? So 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So basically, when it comes to AI, there are two sections in it, two domains. When it comes to the way we handle the technology. One is machine learning, another one is deep learning. Deep learning is the modern approach, more accurate approach, but it is more robust. So it requires a lot of resources to generate it. And machine learning is more simple. We can even use our own machines to generate it. So we were going to discuss agents, external agents also, because real time or near real time is not possible with generative models. So we are going to have one project on how to access external agents. Okay. Okay, let me explain these questions. Generative AI. So there are two subsections in AI. It's machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning is a old approach, traditional approach, whereas deep learning is a modern approach. When we say generative AI is predominantly DL, generative AI. I mean to say they use DL deep learning architecture, and there are a lot of architectures. It started with I mean to say LSTM. Even before LSTM is RNN, right? So it's RNN, and then it go on to LSTM, and then GRU, and then encoder, decoder, and then attention, and then self-attention. Now it is transformer. So most of the generative AI, what we call it as right now, it is predominantly based on transformer, which is the most advanced architecture when it comes to NLP or even AI as such as a whole. So deep learning we are going to use predominantly to generate generative AI models. When we generate, in the sense, not all the models. There are a lot of robust models that we can't generate in our own machines. It will take billions of dollars, even for OpenAI. It took billions of dollars to generate models. So it is not, it's going to be a combination of it, like fine tuning, generative simple models, and using external APIs kind of. So generative AI basically means instead of in the old days, it's going to be more like shell based, right? So we give commands in PowerShell kind of terminal based. So what all the files that we have it in our local machine. Okay, so it's going to list out all the commands. This is shell based. And when we have, if in some case we have desktop applications, to simply clicking on a button, we get the list of files. And we have some kind of web-based applications, right? Now that requires a lot of coding. But now everything being moved towards model based. Model based in the sense, kind of function when it will have millions, billions, and trillions of parameters, and it's going to take the input in a normal language, in a normal whatever the way that we speak, or way we know someone writing a text message, right? So you can simply write a message like this and get the output, required output. So things are moving towards it, what we call it as generative AI. So it takes the input of text or an image, or it generates another image, a video, or it could even generate text. So when things are more predominantly text-based, we call it as generative AI, which is it is not completely we call it as NLP, because it will have some glimpses of CV, computer vision, images and videos. Did I answer your question, or did I make it more complex? If you don't understand, that's fine. So once you complete this course, you will definitely get a good idea of what is generative AI. So are we going to learn practical hands-on fine-tuning RAG prompt engineering techniques? Yes, you are going to understand how to write prompts and what is prompt, what is context, and RAG architecture. And we're going to discuss LangChain, Langsmith, Llama index also, and vector-based thing, and fine-tuning too. Fine-tuning on customized data. So that's going to be, after 1.5 months, once we cover all the basics. What is the difference between generative AI and AI? Generative AI is part of AI. AI is a complete ecosystem. Generative AI can take input, text input, or it could be an image or a video. It could generate a text or image or a video. And AI is more robust. AI more robust in the sense generative AI going to focus more on models and web interfaces. AI, it could be even robo, or it could be we can even embed a model in a machine, a mechanical machine like Tesla car. AI is a whole ecosystem. Generative AI is part of it. So did I answer your question? Purna Chandra Rao, what is the difference between generative AI and AI? Generative AI is subsection of AI. And no one knows complete AI because it requires a lot of experts. Let's take that, in order to build a humanoid, you need to have some knowledge about, anatomy also. Platform will use Azure. So it's going to predominantly Azure, not GCP or AWS. It's Azure. It's going to be because when it comes to AWS, it's more for developers, and when it comes to data, it's more for they are using Azure. When it comes to Kubernetes or containers, they're using GCP. So that is how it works. So industry, that is how industry are going to focus on. When anything related to data, you need to learn Azure. Anything related to development, web development kind of, you need to learn AWS. Anything related to containers, Kubernetes kind of, you need to focus on GCPs. AI replace all the job, but they need human agent. How it will happen. So another 5 to 10 years, it is still technical. It is not going to completely replace it because even if it replaces, it's going to be very expensive. It's going to cost millions of dollars. Rather, business use, no business. I mean to say, those who run business, they feel it's more economical to have a human developer rather than some chart GPT kind of. So it has limitations. It has context-based limitations, memory limitations. There are a lot of limitations to it right now, and it's quite expensive in order to automate everything. Even Elon Musk said once, we have automated too much, which is not really required. Is there a difference between ChatGPT and Azure? ChatGPT is a platform to for generative AI. Right now, it is very, when it comes to GPT-4 and GPT 3.5 and GPT 3.5 Turbo, it is very much limited to, it's more text and very less to visual the images or videos. But GPT 4.0 has come up with even image, audio and video also. So it is evolving. But ChatGPT is more platform for generative AI. Azure is a cloud platform, wherein it's not just APIs related to AI. There are a lot of other stuff. It's a cloud-based one. It is like having a server in cloud. They provide services related to it. And did I answer your question? Is there a difference between ChatGPT and Azure? ChatGPT is specifically for generative AI, and Azure is a cloud platform. They provide a lot of services. Along with that, they provide access to servers. You might have heard IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, right? Yeah, infrastructure as service, product as service, software as service. They provide all that because they do task only on the base of input that has not matured to think on their own. So that is where prompt engineering comes in. So I will explain how to write a prompt. Basically, it will have 3 to 4 components on how to write an effective prompt. So that will come under prompt engineering, so don't worry about it. But you need to have some basic English knowledge till the models are good enough to handle any kind of language. Right? I hope I answered your question. So anything else? Please, can you show the full syllabus? Can we gonna implement RAG? Yes, we're going to Quora, handle Quora, RAG. We're going to implement using LangChain, Langsmith. And we're going to handle agents for real-time or near real-time data too. And if you look at this one, let me show you. There is a section for generative AI. If you can have a look at it. 1 second, let me go down. Yeah, generative. This is all generative AI. So we're going to see NLP, general NLP, generative AI, what are LLM maps, ChatGPT LLM maps, tokens, prompts, context, prompt engineering, RAG, so orchestration framework, LangChain, Llama Index, and Langsmith, large context, performance improvements, deployment, MLOps, LLM ops. What is the difference between the typical MLOps, DevOps, and LLM ops? how to handle large models wherein we can't handle it through general repos because it has its own size limitations, right? I hope I answered your question. Elon Musk on, yeah, there'll come a point where no job is not. Yes, it will take time. It will take at least 10 to 20 years. And even if right now it is not cost effective for businesses, so they need to rely on human assistance, and it is still technical, so they need some technical assistance. So learning DevOps course any useful for me to learn generative AI. When it comes to deployment, it may be helpful, but there are few differences to DevOps. So we call it as ML ops or LLM ops. There are few differences, but DevOps knowledge definitely helps during deployment, not model building or fine tuning. So Azure ML will be covered. Yes, Azure ML APIs will be covered. Latest statement allows none of us will have a job if AI takes over. So yes, that's true, but takes time and it is not cost effective right now. It is too technical still. It will take another 10 to 20 years. Why should Data Factory coming in generative AI? Data Factory is not for generative AI. Data Factory is for data engineering, which is a cloud-based solution. So Azure provides Data Factory for cloud solution, and it has a well built-in ecosystem to even to deploy. It has some part of generative AI tools we can embed in it, but Data Factory is predominantly for data engineering. And it is cloud-based, and it is, no, most of the time, business don't prefer because it's very expensive. And they expect you to have your own things. Web development, traditional software development will replace. Yes, that is true that in future, web development, traditional software development will be replaced by AI. Right now, we are giving more technical instructions. As I showed you before, it's going to replace by LLM OS. You can see that this is the typical LLM OS is going to be. That is also been, and that is also will be done. So I have to go now. Please go and you share the recording link. Recording link will be shared by Ashok IT Institute. The institute guys will share you, so you can be in contact with them. Whoever shared the meeting. I mean, generative AI adds value on top of Azure data engineering. Yes, Azure data engineering in some way in projects it's required. So because you're not going to get clean data and you're going to get from various resources. So Azure data engineering definitely going to be an add-on. A syllabus of generative AI shows. Okay, so I showed you already that these are all the topics that we're going to cover as part of generative AI. So it is more robust and it requires a lot of basics, and you can see that here. When it comes to generative AI, these are all the topics that we're going to cover: RAG, Llama Index, OpenAI, vector databases, Cassandra. We're going to see Couch DB. So we're going to see a lot of other stuff too, and we're going to how to improve performance and Azure stuff. These are all. Thank you. If you don't mind, please share your work profiles, your skills, and how did you get into AI. So I start my work as a SQL developer, and then move to SQL Server DB. I work on Microsoft SQL Server DB for around 5 to 6 years, and then slowly transition to automating data related tasks using PowerShell and Python. And then I got into AI. So from the past almost 6 years, I'm working on AI. How are the opportunities in India? Not just in India, across the world, like there are a lot of across the globe, there are a lot of opportunities in to generate AI. There's one hot profile that every organization require. Yeah, any other questions? In future, web development, traditional software development will be replaced by AI. And moreover, I have already conducted 10 to 15 batches, working as a freelancer instructor, AI instructor from 2019. Not people can also learn. You need to have some knowledge in IT, related software or IT. You'll have difficulty, but you can learn. So there's nothing that is going to stop, but it's going to be difficult compared to the typical software developer who has already have some experience or has some BTech or MTech background. Now, in which project are you working on? Give some idea about. So I'm working in Microsoft project right now. So it's more of a data engineering, AI, customized solutions, sentiment analysis, chatbots. Yes, salaries again depends on your previous package, and right now there is a lot of demand for Gen AI. So Salary is also competitive in nature. So you'll have a good lump sum. Okay, thank you, sir. So in interviews, more competition. Obviously, you need to have some good knowledge in whichever subject you go through, you applied for, I mean to say. So any other questions? I think I answered all of your questions. So Azure ML will be covered. Yes, Azure ML will be covered. So anyone else? I have gone through all the questions. I answered all your questions. Anything else? Jobs will be available. Yes, again, depends on how good you are in the subject. Yeah. The institute will communicate you what with the fee. I think Terraform is needed, right? So Terraform is for cloud infrastructure management. Terraform is not really required unless you want to be a DevOps expert. So Terraform is part of DevOps. Terraform can be used for infrastructure allotment, but that is not required. So we are going to create CI/CD cycle without Terraform. How many days this workshop is going to be? So this course is going to be 2 to 2.5 months. Yeah, the course content will be shared. I will share to, I think I already shared to Ashok IT. So they will, please send back a message to them asking for the content, they will share you. Or it could be available in their website. I'm not sure. So you be in contact with them. So to build programming knowledge, yes. If you have good amount of programming knowledge, that will be an add-on, but you need to put a lot of effort to understand the code. Even though the code will be explained in the course during sessions, but if you have a program knowledge, that will be a great advantage. So whatever you did in the last 6 years, you all knowledge you will give in that. So I will give as much as I can. The content cover under MLOps should be applied for MLOps engineer also. Yes, and there is no, MLOps engineer requires knowledge in all the platforms. I mean to say AWS, GCP, and Azure. Whereas in this course, it's more predominantly focused on generative AI. So we have chosen Azure. So it's MLOps. When I say MLOps, it's going to be more specific to Azure. So MLOps engineer requires you have to have good knowledge in all the platforms, AWS, GCP, along with Azure. So your freelancer, how can we approach for any projects? So I'll provide job support. Of course, I will negotiate the price. What are job roles can we apply if you opt this course? A job roles is going to be generative AI expert or machine learning engineer or machine learning expert or deep learning expert. Or even for data science roles, you can apply and mention that you are an expert in generative AI. Any website, etc. do you have? I used to have DevOps and data website. I used to have articles, but not right now. And I have a YouTube channel wherein most of the videos, let me show you that. So very few are free. I have a channel. So you can see a lot of views of the previous batches around 400, 405. These are all, these are not the complete list. In fact, most of the videos taken by the institute, but these are the batches that I have connected on my own. So a lot of content, but anything that is required for, no, anything that external resource require, I will provide you. So don't worry. And I have saved all the articles in my in a PDF format. I saved it in my drive. I will share it. Even DevOps related. So don't worry about the content. The content cover under MLOps. Okay. So I think I answered all your questions. Anything else? Or shall we wind it up? Anyone from Ashok IT? Anyone from Institute? Naren, are you from Ashok IT? Okay. So I think you are a student, right? Yeah. Next Sunday, I think they are planning another demo. So you'll be in touch with the Institute. Okay, anyone, if someone from institute, you can wind it up. So I'm done. I think I answered all your questions, all the students' questions. Or if you want me to end up the session, I will. All right. Thanks for joining. There will be another demo session, I think, most probably next Saturday or Sunday. So the institute will communicate to you. So thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. And thanks for joining, Naren. What is your question? I'm sorry, Vishnu. Vishnu, you have mentioned, please answer. So what is your question? I didn't look at your question. So didn't I answer your question? Vishnu? Vishnu M. I'm from Ashok IT only. Okay, Purnachandra Rao, if you want to end up the session, you can, but 1 second. I think Vishnu M has technical recruiter is this course for me. So if you want to get into software industry and this will be a hot topic, like, hot subject you can choose. Packages are good and there are a lot of opportunities. But I don't know what's your technical background, but if you have good some programming knowledge, that will be good to go. Or else you need to put a lot of effort. Critical requirements, yes, you can. Someone raised a question, shall we generate SQL and Python code on the critical requirements? Yes. But it should not completely rely on, models. It's not 100% accurate. And, after a few queries, you may start getting wrong answers too. So you may get a lot of errors. You need to have good amount of Python and SQL knowledge or any programming language that you choose. But it's going to be, companion. I have already studied full stack data science, more theoretical base. Is it used for full for me get to practice? Yes. The first 1 month it's going to be more theoretical, but still it's going to be practical enough to explain every concept in Python, NumPy, or various other libraries. And after a month, it's going to be more practical. And I will show you the end-to-end life cycle of how to deploy it to, not just generating, fine-tuning the architecture part of it. I hope I answered your question. Yeah, Surya Kumar Karna. Yeah, right. So anything else? I think Vishnu M, I didn't get your point. So please answer. What do you mean? Please answer. So Purnachandra Rao, wow, yeah, for AWS cloud members are used for generative AI course. So yes, it is going to be useful. Generative AI can be implemented either in Azure, AWS, or GCP. But in this particular course, we have chosen Azure platform because most of the data related projects, they're going to prefer Azure, not AWS. That is the reason we have chosen this. But generative AI can be implemented, the same methodology can be implemented in AWS also. For Java, Spring Boot, yeah, backend developer is required to learn generative AI. Things are moving more, from programming to natural language, right? So generative AI is going to be helpful in another 5-10 years. And you can right now, if you are a Java Spring Boot backend developer, you can use generative AI as a add-on, like a companion to make the code more efficient. You can even optimize using generative AI, right? Or let's say that in some case, you may not know how to write a code or how to proceed further. So you can use generative AI. Abdul R. So I think I answered your question. So any coding is available in this course. Yes, you will start with Python coding. So I'll explain Python basics. So during that, in fact, everything is coding in. It's not tool-based course. Even though Power BI and Tableau are tool-based, but this course is predominantly coding. Are you going to cover ANN, CNN, RN? Yes. We are not just going to cover ANN, CNN, RNN. RN are very basic stuff. We're going to, let me show you that one too. So in order to answer your question. So there's going to be DL, yes. Not this one. So where is it? DL, yeah, DL. Let me 1 second. In order to answer your question, I will show you a video document. It's not just AN, CNN, RNA. RNA are very old stuff. even explain to one of the questions. There are a lot of things came after RNN, like LSTM, GRU, encoder, decoder, attention, self-attention, transformers. So right now, mostly it's transformer-based models. So yeah, DL basics. If you look at this, RN, AN, and CN, even the notes will be provided to you. So we're going to cover all the basics. So don't worry about basics of the notes. 95% of it, like I'm going to provide the notes, and some of it, like I may skip it for some reason or other. You can prepare on Java. So for all the stuff, we are going to provide the scripts. So for DN, CNN, RNN, RNN includes LSTM, GRU, and there are other stuff that I haven't shown here. Let's take, okay, not this one. I think somewhere it has missed. So I'm going to cover BERT, the latest models also, latest architectures also. Did I answer your question? How about RAG and PG vector? So vector database is part of it. RAG architecture is also going to be part of it. LangChain and LangChain, Langsmith, Llama index also going to be part of this course. Sir. How about teaching Hugging Face LM model? Hugging Face part of open source, and OpenAI is more price. We need to third party one, so we need to pay for the price. So it's going to be a combination of both open source and this one too. So I'm going to show you. In fact, I have shown you the Hugging Face models, and I will show you how to use it. So Open API key you can generate for free here, whereas OpenAI is not free, so you need to pay for it. Right? So I'm from MBA background, could be able to, yes, you can understand it because you have business knowledge, but you may not have technical knowledge, but it's something that you need to focus on. Programming knowledge is must, and you have, so in that, area wherein you have to put a lot of effort. But the one advantage you have is as you have MBA knowledge, you have good amount of business knowledge, which is again required for generative AI or any software developer. Will you cover AI algorithm? Yes. We're going to cover, AI algorithms in the sense both machine learning and deep learning. So I thought of showing a demo, but it's already too late. Cover AI algorithm? Yes. How about we'll cover feature engineering, outliers, missing data? Obviously, it's going to come under data engineering, feature engineering and data cleaning. That is going to be part of this thing. If you look at the template that I showed you earlier, this is going to have this, cleaning part and all. So you can see the outliers, RF outliers removal. Let me show you outlier, right? Remove outliers. So I'm going to provide the code that I use. So you not to recreate on your own, but you have to have good knowledge on the programming. I mean, the code part, so that you can customize on your own. Today is first demo, sir. Today is first demo. Yes, today is first demo for generative. The second demo is going to be next weekend for this batch. Duration of the course, I already told you that it's going to be 2 to 2.5 months. Any questions? Did I answer all of your questions? Vishnu M, I didn't get your point. You mentioned, please answer. I didn't get your questions. If you are there, like, post your question. I don't know whether you logged off or still in. Anyway, Purnachandra, you can disconnect the session. I think it's good enough. Okay, is this daily class or only weekend? So that is something I need to discuss with Ashok IT, because if we have continuous sessions, including weekend, that is, we are going to complete the course in 2.5 months, 2 to 2.5 months. If we have weekends, that is something we do. If we don't, if we don't have sessions on weekends, then it's going to extend to another 15 days. That is going to be another 3 months course. According how to get the institute will communicate to you. So whoever communicates to you the meeting link, they will communicate to you. My YouTube channel. So my YouTube channel, I'm not going to upload the session recording, but my YouTube channel is this one, Data Academy. Type Data Academy. How is the career in this? There are a lot of opportunities. In fact, predominantly the requirement is on generative AI compared to in the tech stack. About project after course completions, projects are part of the course, but when it comes to product support, it is totally different. And I do provide job support, but that is something that you have to speak to me in person. Any products will be covered? Yes, at least 10 to 15 products will be covered in this course. It is paid batch. Yes, it's a paid course. 2 to 3 sessions are going to be free, so you can attend it. So to find out whether it's good enough for you or not. What is the fee? The fee will be communicated by Ashok IT. The institute will communicate you. So you can be in touch with them. I'm an instructor, right? I'm a Java background developer. Yes. I already answered your question in detail, in fact. So yes, it's going to be helpful if you want to transition to generative AI, or even you being a Java backend developer. Generative AI can be used as a companion. Yes, 3 months in the sense if we don't have sessions on weekends, then it's going to be 3 months. If we have sessions on weekends also, along with weekdays, Monday to Friday, along Saturday and Sunday, if we have sessions, then it's going to be 2 to 2.5 months. Three. Okay, did I answer your question, Vikram? All right. Fine. I think okay. So you can discard the session, Purnachandra. Yeah, we're good to go. Let me know when will be the next demo session. NVIDIA is also selling generative AI. So how your course can help? So if someone is selling generative AI, they're going to provide API. But how do you access API, or how do you customize API those models? How do you fine tune models? In some case, they are not the business don't provide any budget. So you need to rely on open source. Then how do you manage it? So those things will be discussed in this course. NVIDIA is just an organization. They make these GPUs, and they are they have their own software wing wherein they generate this generative AI model. Okay, it's not one. There is no such thing as one shot solution for everything. Human help and human assistance, and that too right now, technical assistance is mandatory. Whom we should contact, please okay, share contact person number. So whoever communicate to you the meeting details, you can communicate back, or else you can visit Ashok IT website, wherein you will get the contact number. Okay, Saurabh? Purnachandra, so you want to communicate the number? Purnachandra, I think you're from Ashok IT, right? Yeah. So if you want to communicate the number, it's better. Yeah. All right. So Purnachandra is going to communicate the number. I think you better communicate either through WhatsApp or here, WhatsApp chat. This chat. So are you going to provide the number? Okay. I think he has provided the link. Naren, Ashok IT Tech. They have this contact number. Okay. Yeah, this number 99985396677. 9985396677. I hope this session, the demo session, is informative. I hope I answered all of your questions. If anything I miss, communicate to Ashok IT. They will be in touch with me, and I will answer your questions. Okay. All right, done. Thank you. Thanks a lot for joining. Purnachandra, you can discard the session. You're welcome.